Hi everyone, my name is Heather Dickerson, and my topic of choice is the opioid epidemic. I chose this topic because it's very close to home for me. I have a 29-year-old cousin who, growing up, you would have never thought that this could happen to her or to think that this could happen to anybody in your family, but it does. I have watched this drug ruin her entire life. Is taken everything from her. Her and her husband both were users, and the effects on them, it makes them so that they're not even them anymore. You don't even know who they are. They try to act as if there's nothing wrong, but you can tell. So knowing this, I know from firsthand experience what it's like to have an addict very close to you. She has 3 beautiful children with another one on the way, and thankfully she has gotten help, and her husband are both doing very well, but there's always that chance of a relapse. Drugs are addictive, and a question is addiction a sickness? Is it hereditary? I think we all have addiction issues to different things. I mean, there's addiction to gambling, your hobbies, drugs, sports. I mean, we all have addictions. I mean, work can be an addiction. And how do you help yourself? How do you help others? From experience, you can't help somebody unless they want help. They're in denial until they hit rock bottom and realize, hey, I need some help. So my questions are, is addiction a sickness? And why is Narcan free? Why do we bring back people that know that they could be killing themselves? Or they are killing themselves over and over and over and over again? How is it fair to the millions of cancer patients that can't get treatment because it's too expensive? They didn't choose to have cancer, like drug addicts choose to take drugs. In diabetics, they can't afford insulin, can't afford their test strips, but we continue to bring back people who are making the choice of possibly killing themselves. I mean, as a person, I have feelings, I have a heart, and if it was my family member, I'd want them to bring them back. But on the other hand, you have to look at the fact that they chose this, and you can bring them back, but they're going to do it again because they don't feel like they have an issue. Now, granted, there's lots and lots and lots of people who have overcome this addiction, but there's always the chance of relapse. And I don't know, I just hope and I pray that we can get this epidemic under control. Who is to blame for this epidemic? Is it the manufacturers? Is it the doctors? Is it the people taking it? The sellers? Who is to blame for this? Did the manufacturers and the doctors know that this was going to be such an addictive drug that people were going to die from it and get hooked on it and now have this huge epidemic in our country? Is Suboxone and buprenorphine and methadone, are they all just gateway drugs that we can prescribe these addicts just so they don't buy it off the streets? I mean, there has to be something to this medication that it's going to stop somebody from buying something that makes them feel so good. What is it? Why? Why do these work? And are we just feeding into their addiction by giving them something else to be addicted to? Are Suboxone and buprenorphine and methadone, are these just other options for addicts? I mean, how do they really work? And then my final question and a big proposal: how do we stop our children from being the next generation of users? In this world, the way it is today, our kids face many challenges, and I have 3 beautiful children, and I want to know, how do we prevent them from being the next generation? We see it, and we see so many things, and you never expect it to be your kids. You never expect it to be somebody close to you, but then it does hit close to home. So in this research I want to interview current and past users. I want to find out how they started. Do they know, what was it? Was it self-esteem? Was it a bad experience? Was it a breakup? What was it that got them started on this drug? And how did they overcome it? Or do they see a problem with it? Is there an issue with it? So that's my biggest question, is how, why, and is there anything we can do to stop it?